You say that the art economy is exceptional. That's the subtitle of the book. What makes the economics of the art so different from other industries or professions? What makes it exceptional?
I think one thing which makes it exceptional is that the higher classes who appropriated the serious arts, yeah, in one way or another, got the message across to whole population. This is for us. This is special. And sorry, but this is not for you. You can have your pop music starting in the 60s. Before there was nothing like, there was a bit of jazz, etc. Gradually developing in being accepted as, oh yeah, this could be art as well by the elite or part of the elite. That was after the Second World War. Same a little bit with film. Film it also at first was not a real art form. There's another one. I remember in a minute.
Do you think it's still protected by the upper classes, the arts nowadays?
Maybe not so much by them, but it's automatic. It has become standardized. So it's difficult to get away from it. Popular art, that's my latest book, has become accepted as art. Nowadays, there are many signs of it. Pop groups perform now in former elite buildings, concert halls. Pretty famous orchestras perform Star Wars music or
Yeah.
that sort of stuff. And of course, there's also a financial element because they want to survive and they need more audience. The audience for classical music did go down, but it still has status, and I think there will be audience for it because it's also not very bad music.
Yeah.
Yeah,
In general, do you think there's any overlaps between science and art nowadays?
is there much research in art? No, could be an overlap. High status, maybe, and also in art academies, etc. It's the same as universities. Yeah, the higher educated, those is in the higher educated secondary school degree are overrepresented. Certainly migrants, etc., are of course yes, underrecommended. But that's in many other ways as well, yeah, in many other areas. So what connects, what overlaps science and art?
Maybe technology?
Technology is very important in the arts and in the development of the arts since the 17th century. It's good to know that technology is important in the arts because that is something art lovers have problems acknowledging. That means that the Steinway piano, the large
Yeah.
piano, replaced the piano which was more expensive, but could provide a much larger hall with enough sound which is loud enough. The Steinway family even advertised that. But don't tell it to a lover of classical music. He will give all sorts of aesthetic reasons. And he has turned the picture, but it was not how it came about. Productivity is very important, whether it's cars, science, or whatever. But the arts generally lag behind. So there's inflation, value of money goes down, and then in the production of cars or whatever, increases in productivity thanks to new technologies, and they can continue to pay their personnel. In the arts, there is what we call a cost disease. So costs go up, all sorts of costs to perform, but productivity remains the same. If you had an ensemble of 4 players, classical music, it's before the rising cost, the same size as after the rising cost. So there's no productivity increase. And that's because we have a fixed notion of what is good art. Of course, there could be a major increase the moment you start to use microphones. Not so much with the small ensemble, but with a big orchestra. That could already make much difference. But that's something out of the question usually is in theater, it worked, the microphone. And then the artistic possibilities come next. They are not first, but next. Sometimes they come together. That is also an explanation, part explanation why salaries are so low in the arts. When costs continuously are rising all the time, the money uses value, etc. You can only save on paying your performers or artists less and less. There's a limit to that, of course, but the pressure is down.
What do you think the role of AI might play in productivity or in the arts in general? What do you think about that?
Oh, I'm not yet very well informed about AI. There's a lot being written about it just now, but I didn't read that much yet. AI may play a role in that. AI almost invites artists to multiply, to have large series of their products, maybe even products which before, well, wouldn't have been multiplied, would have been unique, are now, when produced with AI, it would almost be strange not to have them, especially when it's flat. But also music. Multiplying has a strange effect. There again, the elite was not happy when photography, the audience didn't like it. Some photographers even made very small series, 2 or 3 or 4 copies. I don't know if it's for a while that was quite a way to earn more money also. I think if they had a dealer, the dealer might have worked out, oh, with 3 you earn the most. Don't do 2, don't do 4 or 5. So that is the same as with an etching. People can live with that. But there was a time when I made a series of a dry point, which I made 15, and I noticed that people loved it a lot, and I could probably sell 30 for the same price. I asked one of the buyers, because you are cheating, I asked all of the buyers if they could agree with it, and one of them didn't agree. He was very much against it. So he didn't want to share with a larger group. A large series it's hard, it's almost strange not to go for a large series. I don't know if you've heard of Walter Benjamin, but he argued that it goes almost against the nature of art to make large series, especially work with products which was new in his days, photography and video, film, which in principle can be multiplied indefinitely. So this buyer or producer, in the back of your mind, oh, it's not going to be more than 10,000, that it could be much more, is already painful. Benjamin would say the work loses its magic of art.
Yeah. Do you think scarcity still plays an important role in the value of art nowadays? Because you can create prints of maybe 30 pieces, but
it plays a role, maybe not among many people, but in small groups it does. And the NFTs, where they can digitally control where the work is and who owns it, and limit the number of works, they became extremely expensive for a while. Maybe I could even make NFTs, but then they went down over the last, I don't know, half year or whatever. So even there is people who understand, oh, but this is phony, something like that. The object, which was usually produced, in the end, they didn't like it so much. I don't know.
do you think
we were competing with other very rich people? And that's still nice in the arts. So it feels nice for people that you're competing with. Is the top of the world, somebody in India, Korea, through art, not through cars or whatever. And that's still this high esteem of art. It's plays a role.